Here we are in Adamsville, Tennessee. We're at the home of Buford Pusser, the legendary sheriff, and it's now a museum. Come on in. So here we are in Buford Pusser's home. Buford Pusser, of course, is the legendary sheriff from McNairy County. We're here in Adamsville, Tennessee, and if you've seen a Walking Tall film, then you know about Buford Pusser. But this is really where he lived, and we're going to find out today who all visited here since his living here and passing in 1974. I was influenced by the Walking Tall film. It was the classic bad versus good film, and Buford being the good guy and basically taking on all the corruption in this area through his stints as law enforcement officer. And a lot of tragedy that's unfolded in his life, and it's just it made for good Hollywood films, but we have to remember the tragedy that we saw in these films actually happened. Buford lost his wife to a murder, and you got to imagine the family that was here at the time losing a loved one in such a tragic way. But Buford was truly an upstanding law enforcement officer, and he did what he believed was right, and he did it in his own way. Shirley, longtime friend of Buford Pusser's and the family, do you mind giving us a tour today?
I don't mind at all. He was born December 12, 1937, finished school in 1956. He was a real good ball player. He averaged about 27 points a game, number 61 on the football team. His grades weren't real good.
And he went on to become a wrestler, correct?
Out of high school, he joined the Marines. 3 months later, he got a medical discharge. He had asthma. He was sent to Paris Island. Came home, no jobs. Brother John lived in Chicago. He goes to Chicago, gets a job at a union bag company, wrestles on the weekends, Buford the Bull.
Let me jump in there for a second. You mentioned John was his brother, correct?
John Howard.
And he had a restaurant called Big John's in Henderson, Tennessee, correct?
That's right.
I went to college there, so I used to, that was the big thing, was to go down to Big John's and eat. So we, in fact, I met his brother at one time there. This goes back many years, but can you, I know there's an Elvis story connected with the fire. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, the day of Buford's funeral, Elvis came through the door at the end of the hall, sat in Mike's room and visited with the family. But he also gave Buford a $1,000 check when the house burned in '71.
Wow. So there was a relationship there then.
Oh yeah.
And so Elvis didn't attend the funeral in person,
No,
but he came that day of.
He told the family, he said, I know that I would make a showing if I went to the church, and I don't want to take away from Buford. So he visited and left.
Wow.
Well, this is the Buford Pauline's bedroom in the first house.
Okay.
When the house burned and they built back like it was, but he made him a man cave downstairs. He didn't like sleeping up here anymore.
Was it for security reasons?
Well, he shared that bedroom with her, see, and he didn't have her when the house built back, so.
I see. Okay.
This was Dewana's bedroom.
Wow. It's truly like it was.
Yeah, it's just like it was.
I mean, carpet and everything.
Everything.
It just has not changed at all.
It's just like it was. This is Mike's bedroom. See, Elvis came through that door and sat in here.
Wow.
This was the family bath, but this is the door he came through right there.
It's, I got goosebumps just for the fact everything is so original.
It is original.
I feel like we've, you know, I mean, you knew the family, so it's a little different for you maybe, because it was like, you know, it's extended family to you. I've come in here, I've got goosebumps for the fact I feel like I've walked back in time. And having seen
71.
Wow. Well, and I don't know if you heard me say earlier, I had seen a lot of the Walking Tall films when I was a kid. So I was a fan of Buford's. Didn't know him like you did, but I was a fan as a kid just because he was this big tough guy that, in my mind, was eliminating bullies. You know,
he was tough and he wasn't tough. He'd do anything for you if you do halfway right. But he didn't want a lot of
nonsense.
That's right. He sure didn't.
Wow.
And this is Mike's 3 children.
Oh, okay. And now Mike's still living.
Okay. He's the only one still living.
Okay. I guess walking through from a law enforcement perspective, I mean, he had attempts on his life many times, and had been shot several times. And he was a tough guy, clearly protecting his jurisdiction, but his family as well. Did the family, the kids, did they have fear of any kind?
So.
They just kind of grew up knowing what their dad did.
Yeah, you know, they told that the house was shot into, and that wasn't so. It was never shot into. So
there was some Hollywood creative license in some of the films. Okay.
I don't think that family was ever threatened. Now, Buford, I'm sure there was some people after him, but not the family. Or I don't think there was anybody after the family.
With the exception of, sadly, his wife just happened to be at the wrong place on a run with him.
Yeah, she didn't usually go with him either.
Wow.
We had an art teacher that did that painting at 80 years old and donated it to the museum, Mr. Glenn McDaniel.
Wow, that's well done.
The biggest fan that we've known of Buford's, of the museum, was Robert Fest Jr. from North Carolina. He had the bus made overseas, but he used to help us financially big time. And he passed away, his widow donated it to the museum.
Wow, that's nice.
Billy Graham, Johnny Cash, and some more celebrities had a get-together for Buford, wanting him to tell me to run for governor.
No kidding.
But I don't think Buford would run for governor. Buford got killed. Buford's motto is what's right's right, what's wrong is wrong, no matter who you are. So that wouldn't have fit in with politics.
So Billy and Johnny, did they visit here, or they just came to town?
No, they headed at Johnny Cash's.
Oh wow, okay.
They had to get together at Johnny Cash's.
So that probably would have been taken at the home on the lake in Hendersonville. Wow.
Downstairs is going to be his bedroom, gift shop, 74 Lincoln, wreckage of the Corvette, and restrooms. Wow. Downstairs.
Is it fine if we go in there?
That's where it's at.